So today we are doing yet another Copic marker illustration. I'm actually drawing your OCs. I recently tweeted, actually I did a video like this quite a while ago, and I tweeted asking for people's OCs, and that video did really well and people enjoyed seeing their OCs drawn. So I'm doing it again because I feel like I didn't draw enough and I wanted to draw all of the OCs. I probably won't be able to draw all of them, but I really want to get through and do a good chunk of them. So we have 3 more drawings to show you today, and I am so excited to do this. So let's just get right into it.
So for the first OC I am drawing today is actually this lovely fairy from Nicholas Artents. Now the reason I was actually drawn to this OC and I really wanted to draw her is because of this sort of beautiful dress that she has, and I thought it would be really fun to sort of illustrate that sparkly texture. I think it would look really cool and it would be a lot of fun. So of course I started off sketching in Procreate, which is a digital art app for my iPad. Now this is happening quite a lot actually. I'm loving the digital sketching. I find it really fun and I'm just so into it today, so that's probably why you've seen me use it a lot in my recent videos. But yeah, I pretty much just started off this sketch in Procreate, and then I printed it off onto some A4 printer paper, and then after that I'm actually tracing it onto some Express-It blending card using my Copic multiliners. Now there is something slightly different that I'm actually doing with these artworks. Usually when I illustrate people, I find it a lot of fun to sort of line it in pencil. That way I can have lots of different colors and it just looks really soft and illustrative. However, I'm actually running low on mixed media paper, which is what I prefer to use pencils on because the pencils stick better and don't smear that much with the markers. So instead I went with the black multiliners, which to be honest I'm not mad because I do like the results of these artworks and it was a lot of fun to draw in inks. So colouring it in with Copic markers, I am pretty good with these because I use them constantly, and yeah, I started off with the hair, which is obviously a lovely bright yellow blonde colour, and I actually used a mixture of canary yellow and acid yellow for this because those are similar colours in the sort of colour groups that Copic have, so they blend really nicely together, but also it gives it a really vibrant and bright yellow colour, which I really love. Now for her dress I actually used a mixture of a few different colours: holiday blue, aqua, robin's egg blue, frost blue, and also a very small amount of duck blue as well, just in the shadows. And I tried to blend it and layer it really well where it sort of had a bit of dimension in the colour, but also sort of looked a bit soft as well. I didn't want it too crazily blended, if that makes sense. Now the most fun I actually had drawing this character here was the lollipop that she's actually carrying. It was a lot of fun for me to try and get a sort of translucent effect on it and actually get that lollipop stick to show through. It was a lot of fun drawing that, and I'm pretty glad that it was actually part of the original illustration. Now for the background I decided to go with a sort of pinky purple colour, and I actually went in with a few different patterns. Now I didn't want to do anything too complex, so I just went with some little sparkly patterns and also some drips of my various ink as well, just for a cool little effect. And yeah, I'm actually very happy with this one and I really like how it turned out. So here is the final results of the first illustration in this video, and yeah, I love it so much, and thank you so much Nicholas for letting me draw your OC. I hope you like it. Now, this next OC I'm drawing today is actually by the artist Lemon Bunny, and this OC is very, very adorable. Now, the reason I actually really felt like drawing this and what stood out to me was the sort of effect she has on her hair. Now, as you can see in the original illustration, it has a sort of transparent effect on the hair where it sort of overlaps the eye, and you can see the eye underneath. And I thought that that was a really cool effect, and I really wanted to sort of try it out in my style as well. So of course, just like the original first illustration that I did, I am sketching this in Procreate, as I mentioned before, and yeah. I tried to pick a pose that was sort of simple enough but a little bit dynamic, and I'm pretty happy with the pose that I got. Now of course I am inking this with the same technique as before, but with a little bit of sort of an interesting effect. Now, as I said before, there was that sort of overlapping eye with the hair type thing, and I decided where the hair would overlap the eye, I would ink that part in grey, just so it was a little bit less, sort of like a little bit covered but not, if that makes sense at all. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that, because once I overlaid the purple over the top of the grey, it was a very slight sort of greyish tone, and yeah, it did look like the colours sort of mixed pretty well. So colouring in these with my Copic markers, I had a lot of fun doing this. Now I did use a few different colours for the hair. I used Mallow, and I also used Heath, and I also used another sort of slight darker purple colour for the sort of shadows underneath her hair as well. And I really like how the colours turned out. Now the colours aren't perfect because I had to sort of match which colours would fit with the colours that they used. Obviously I don't have every single Copic marker, so you know, it's not 100% perfect, but I think I got it pretty darn close, and I'm quite happy with it. Now for the skin tones, I actually used a mixture of a lot of different colours. I used some very, very pale E-tone markers, and I also used some very, very pale yellow reds and also some pinks as well, and I really like how it turned out. Now of course I am trying out this little technique that I like to do sometimes, where I add a little bit of pink onto the cheeks, onto the nose, elbows and knees. Now I did this because one, it just gives a really cute sort of style, but also those areas on the skin are a little bit more flushed, so just emphasizing the redness in those parts of the skin really helps to give it life and make it look really vibrant and cute. Now I have to say, the color palette of this drawing is so pleasing to me. I really love the soft pastel colors. It gives a really sort of nice relaxing feel, and I really do like the results. Now for the background, I didn't want to sort of ruin that. I really wanted to keep with that sort of soft tone, so I actually did this technique for the background that I do sometimes, where I'll just draw sort of colored balls behind it, if you get what I mean, like little colored circles, and I just put them randomly throughout. Now I used a very soft yellow color as well as a light orange color, and I think that these complement the art pretty well and it looks pretty good. So here is the final results, and I love this one so much. Thank you so much for letting me draw your OC. Now last but definitely not least, the final OC I'm drawing today is by none other than my good friend Parasol Mushroom. Now if you're not familiar with this character, her name is Parasolia, and she is her OC, and I love it so much. And when she commented her OC, I 100% wanted to draw it because, well, I love this character a lot, and I'm really glad that I was finally able to draw it today. So of course, again, the digital sketch with printing out and then the inking over the top. For the style, I actually kind of wanted to try and very slightly mix our styles just a little bit. Mainly with the eyes. Now usually I will sort of draw sort of like almond shaped eyes, but I actually wanted to try and go for a more oval shape. And the results are really interesting. I actually really like the style of this. It's a really nice change. It kind of gives me a mix of Disney and Pokemon vibes, which I really do enjoy because I love both of those. Now that wasn't intentional, however I'm quite happy with the results, and I think it's super cute. With the inking process, I actually decided I wanted to spend a little bit more time on this one, mainly because I really love drawing all the lines in the hair, and I also really love drawing veins in the leaves as well. So I was having a lot of fun doing that with both of those elements in this illustration. For the pose, I definitely wanted to go with something slightly simple, but obviously a little bit dynamic. I decided to have her standing and holding a dandelion, which she is often depicted holding. Now I decided to include her little friend Fidget the butterfly, and I'm really glad I did this because it just adds a nice little pop of colour with that blue, and yeah, it just looks really good. So colouring in this with my Copic markers again. For her skin tone, I actually sort of stayed closer to the more red tones. Now this was because I knew there was going to be a lot of red in the illustration, so I felt like it would sort of be a bit more cohesive and it would sort of match, I guess. Very pale reds and very pale earth tones for her skin, with a lot of pink in the cheeks and on the elbows and the knees, just like before. So now for the reds, I actually used a fair bit of crimson as well as peony, and I also used a little bit of red, violet and deep magenta in the shadows. And for the darkest shadows on the red part, I actually used a purple color, which is quite interesting. I've never actually used purple to shade red before, but it gave it a really sort of cool shadow tone that I really do enjoy. So I'm definitely going to be trying that again in the future and experimenting with that because it was very fun, and yeah. For the green tones of this illustration, I definitely went with a bit of pine tree green, ocean green, and for the highlights of those green colors, malachite, which I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly because I have pronounced that color incorrectly on this channel before and I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyways, I'm really happy with the results of this illustration and I think it's super cute. And Para, I hope you enjoyed watching me draw your character as much as I enjoyed drawing her. Now I made sure to include her brown shoes, and for the background I actually decided with a simple sort of background, which I don't think it really counts as a background. I drew a sort of oval shape on the ground surrounding her feet, and then I sort of just added a bit of a grass texture on top of that. And I actually really do like the results because one, it balances the illustration a little bit more with a bit of shape down the bottom, and it just looks really simple and effective, and I really like it. So here are the results of this illustration, and I love it so much. I love the colors and the tones in it, and I really enjoy the sort of purpley shadows in the reds, as well as all of the colors sort of mixing together really nicely. Here are all three of the illustrations together, and I think that they look really nice together, and they sort of suit each other a little bit. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me draw this because I definitely had a whole lot of fun drawing this. I love drawing your OCs, so please from the bottom of my heart accept my thanks.
So here are the final results. We have three beautiful OCs here. I'm going to show you the first one. It is this beautiful fairy. I love this one so much. The patterns are pretty interesting and there's a lot of color in it. So the next one we have is this one, which I really like because it is a bit more of a simple style. The colors are very soft and it's got a very pastel feel to it, and I really love the aesthetic. And the third one is the gorgeous parasol mushrooms character Parasolia. Yeah, I love this one so much because it just has a really cute feel to it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and of course I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone!